This is the video for Pong Part 2. Yesterday we put some preprocessor directives, that's what these are called, in our code view, and we did the form. We did form level variables, these guys. We also included this. This is creating our own function, by the way. Remember, we did string functions. We're creating our own function here. And we need that in order to make use of the keys, attach keys to the program. And we did the form 1 load. So today we're going to code timer 1. And timer 1 controls the ball itself. So to get to here, you're going to double click timer 1. Right, go back to your form, double click timer 1. Okay, and again, you're going to see this line, and you're going to see end sub. So we're going to put all this code in here. So first we're going to make the ball move, right? Remember, picture 3 is the ball. Again, you don't have to put any of these comments, anything that's green in here, into the program. But that's what we're doing here. We're setting a new location for it. Every time this timer 1 ticks, whatever we had it set to, 1 millisecond or something, I forget what we did it to, but it's going to change the point's location. And it's going to take the location and add xvel, whatever xvel is at the time. That'll change the x location, and this is going to change the y in the same manner, adding the yvel. So much like we did with click the clown, right? We're going to make it so the ball bounces off the top, bottom, left, and right. And that's what all this is. You saw this with click the clown last week. If the ball, picture box 3 dot location, if the y is less than 0, I'm going to make a new, we're going to keep the x location, and we're going to change the y to 0. And then again, we're going to reverse the direction of the horizontal and if. So that's for the top wall. For the bottom wall, right? If the location of y is greater than me, okay, me is the form itself. If it's greater than the height minus the size, that the height of the ball minus 45, and don't worry if you don't understand about how we got all this. Okay, you can go in, you can actually figure it out yourself why we're choosing, height minus picture box 3, the height minus 45, and so forth. It has to do with the size of the ball, and of course the size of the actual form itself. Again, me is the form. And if that's the case, right, we're going to change both, or we're going to keep the x location. We're going to set it to its same x location, whatever it is. And then we're going to change the y to me dot height. We're going to change it to this. This is what you saw right here. And we're also going to change the direction of the vertical velocity, or change direction of, so if it's going down, it's going to go up. Now, we talked about collision detection yesterday, and all we did yesterday, we did a kind of false collision detection with, like we did up here, with the sides and top and bottom of the form. But now we're going to use something called intersects with, right? And this is how we're going to check. This is how the program's going to check to see if the ball hit one of the paddles. So remember, picture box 1 is the left controller. So if picture box 3 dot bounds, which is the ball, intersects with, that's a function built in, picture box 1 dot bounds. They basically cross if they're bounds. Then, right, we're going to say picture box 3 dot location equals new point, right? And we're doing this. We're going to be a little tricky with this because sometimes if it hits the corner, it kind of gets stuck in a little loop, right? So we're going to set the X location, right? The current X location plus the width size of the ball. So we're basically going to move it over. And we're going to keep the Y location of the ball. And then we're going to change the horizontal location. Same thing with, not horizontal location, horizontal, the direction. Then the same thing we're going to do with the player 2, the paddle on the right. If for scoring now, so basically if it hits the left wall, right, up here we just did the top and the bottom. I think I said all sides, but here we're going to check to see if it actually does clear the left side, or if it clears the paddle rather. If it clears the left side, then player 2 scores. So comp score is player 2. We talked about that yesterday up here. Comp 1s. And so that's player 2. That's the guy on the right. So if picture by 3 location.x, if it's less than 0, that means it crossed. It went past the paddle and it went to the left-hand side. The guy on the right scores. That's comp score. Right? Now we're going to reset the ball. This is what this is doing. Right? So the ball is going to appear at this location. Basically the center of the screen. The width of the form divided by 2. That's the X, and the Y is the height of the form divided by 2. And then we're going to, right, we increase the score here, but we didn't show it yet. We have to update label 2's text with that score. And if it clears the right side, right, there it is, player 1 scores. Right, basically the same thing, except we increase player 1 score. Okay, tomorrow we're going to code the actual keys, and then we're going to make it so the player can move their paddles. That's what timer 2 is for.